I think it keeps cops honest and it keeps the public honest also. Because you know what? If there's any resistance at all, it's never going to look pretty. And so having a record of it and following proper procedures and more training, I think it helps everybody and keeps everybody honest. That's why when they canceled cops and they canceled live PD, I'm like, no, that helps the public understand what guys like yourself go through. It's not easy.
Well, Sean, one of the things is we were always taught that, and I've done law enforcement even overseas as a consultant, but we were taught if you're going to use violence, it should be so overwhelmingly violent that it's short and over with. But one of the main points I'd like to make is all the training in the world does not matter if you don't have the trust of the citizens you're policing. And one of the biggest outdated modes has to be done away with is police cannot sit in a patrol car with their friends and partners, then promote to IA, and then all of a sudden you're going to put that person in prison if they did something that's a crime. It's unrealistic. What needs to happen is you can't even use outside agencies, the FBI. All of them are part of the law enforcement system. You need service-trained people. We have so many good detectives that are retired sitting around that if you put them together and we're able to let the citizens of that community work side by side with those service-trained advocates, then what happens is now they get to learn how tough the job is, and the police officers who are under investigation have somebody that understands their language, understands the situation you go through. That's why on some of your shows I've heard people talk about community boards to review police action. If you have no concept of how to read a police department manual, what shall or should not means, then it's like sending somebody who does fishing to your studio to do your sound mixing.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
And people have to remember one other thing here, and this is critical. They have to remember that even if it's just a routine traffic stop, that the cop never knows what's on the other side, ever. Their adrenaline is pumping. They don't know. And we've seen horrible situations evolve, even on a simple traffic stop. But, I always say the 99%. Most people I know, John, that go into your profession, you go to protect and you go to serve. And the 99% is so dedicated. And,
John, I'll look at it this way. You have 2% of the population that, based upon criminal science, 2% are going to be killers and thieves. 2% are going to be your troublemakers. If you think for whatever reason we could keep 2% out of the police department, it's unrealistic. And so I propose, and I'll keep proposing, that until citizens are trained and law enforcement officers are trained to interact. I was trained as a little boy by my parents to have respect for the police, and that if something happens, you say yes, sir, no, sir, and then you take it up with the supervisor afterwards. You don't escalate aggression. Police need to be held to a higher standard. On a traffic stop, if you're adrenaline pumping, then you need more training, because the only time my adrenaline pumps is when I know there's a threat. Other than that, you are nice to everybody, but always have a plan to take them down. You smile.
I got it. Listen, it's hard to do. I mean, look at these New York City cops getting doused with water, their patrol cars. It's just sad. I'm going to move on, John. But listen, people like you make our cities, our streets safer, more secure for all of us. You're a rock star. Many thanks to you and all the brave men and women that do protect and serve every day, and they do it with honor and distinction. Thank you. All right, let's say hi to Adam in Minneapolis. What's up, Adam? How are you?
Hi, Sean. Pleasure to speak with you. We don't say the word Minneapolis anymore here. We say land of my pillows. And
I love Mike Lindell, but man, I'll tell you, I thought I could talk a lot. He can talk. It circles around me. I love the guy. He's such a good guy.
Yes, absolutely. Well, hey, the reason for my call is every day we get a body count in the number of shootings in Chicago.
Terrible.
And I have an idea for President Trump. Land Marine One in White Sox baseball park and meet with the black leaders in that area and become the first president to really attempt to solve that particular problem on the southwest side of Chicago. I think the Democrats would lose their minds and Trump would become a superhero with the majority of the black population.
I think it's going to be very interesting because obviously the president announced yesterday, after meeting with a lot of key people, that there is a reform package that he's working on, but he wants it to be meaningful. You know, none of this, people kneeling for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. That doesn't make up for, the 50 years they've been in the House or the Senate doing nothing. All the talk that Chicago, for example, has gotten over the years, decades of Democratic rule, and they haven't fixed their crime, their violence problem in their neighborhoods. And you're right. I think I'm the only one on television to ever scroll the names of everybody. And this is going back a ways during Obama's time as president. And, all the people shot, their names. You've never heard them. All the people shot and killed. We scrolled their names. You've never heard of them. And it's like a year in and year out, nobody does anything. But here's the problem too. Your governor or the governor in Illinois, he wants nothing to do with Donald Trump coming in and helping, the state out, even when there's unrest going on. I mean, it's insane.
Well, apparently that area, I guess when the stockyards left many, many, many years ago, it was not replaced with any sort of job opportunities. And obviously, Donald Trump is very effective at doing that, i.e. the economy. But I think that would go a long way in addition to what he's already done. To heck with the governor, to heck with the mayor. Just land that Marine One, meet with the black leaders and say, you know what, let's try to figure a way that everyone doesn't have to kill each other, and take the first step. I mean, the optics of Marine One flying into Chicago.
I think it's a good idea.
Airport.
No, I like it.
Please.
But, look, something has to be done. I mean, it's hard when the states are fighting against the president, begging them to take the help he's offering. And by the way, as a matter of process and law, they have to ask for the help. Unless the president, relies on the 1807 Insurrection Act. Anyway, I got to run. Speaking of MyPillow, yes, in Minnesota, jobs here in America, the best products ever made. As much as I suffer from insomnia, the one thing that has changed my life dramatically is all these MyPillow products, starting with the greatest, softest, most comfortable pillow you're ever going to lay your head on. Right now, you can buy one and get one free. They also have their other great products like, for example, the duvet covers, now their bolster, neck and Giza elegance pillows, and, they got everything. And the great thing is, Mike is offering buy one, get one free. Disposable masks will also, by the way, you'll, get great deals on that. Face masks, maybe you need some, maybe you ran out of it. You want to have it stocked. You can get those offers when you go to the Sean Hannity Square, when you go to MyPillow.com. Whatever you need, they've got it.